Hi guys, I'm Darlo from Channel Experimental High School. So today I'm going to introduce the book called Uncle Tom's Cabin to you guys. So when I first read this book, I had a big question about the title. Cabin. Yeah, cabin. Why cabin? Actually, you know that there are a lot of symbols in this book, like the religion, like the freedom. But why the author choose cabin? What the cabin truly mean? I think this will be the main problem we're going to solve after my introduction. And actually, I think this will lead to the theme of this book. So let's just move on. So first, I would like to talk about the plot. The story begins with a white farmer called Arthur Shelby, and actually he is facing a really big problem that he is going to lose his farm because of the debts. So to solve this problem, Shelby decides to sell two slaves. One is Uncle Tom and the other is Harry. Harry is the son of Emily Shelby's maid Eliza. George Shelby, the cute little boy, um, the son of Arthur Shelby, he hates to see Tom go because he sees this man as his friend and mentor. And actually, when these two men, Uncle Tom and Harry, are in the same situation, actually they have different choice. Eliza determines to run away with her son Harry, and actually Tom just chooses to stay. So he is sold and placed on a riverboat, which sets sail down to the Mississippi River. During the boating journey, Tom met a young white girl called Eva. Yeah, this cute girl, and actually they quickly become friends because they have the same Christian faith. Also, during the boating journey, one day Eva fell into the water, and her friend Uncle Tom quickly saved her. So after this, Eva's father Austin Sinclair buys Tom from the slave trader and take him with the family to the home in New Orleans. So let's back to Elisa. After Elisa escaped from her master's house, he quickly meets up with her husband, George Harris, also a slave, and they all decide to run to Canada to get freedom. But actually, during their journey, they find that they are attracted by a slave hunter named Tom Locker. And to protect themselves, George Harris chooses to fight with Tom Locker, and Tom Locker gets hurt. So, but at the end, Eliza convinces George to bring the slave hunter to a nearby Quaker settlement for medical treatment. So now let's back to Uncle Tom. After they back in New Orleans, Sinclair needs to face a really big problem that he needs to debate slavery with his northern cousin called Ophelia, who while opposing slavery and is prejudiced against black people. The sad thing is that after Tom has lived with the Sinclairs for about 2 years, Eva grows very ill. Before she dies, she experiences a vision of heaven, and she quickly shared this kind of experience to the people around her. And actually, her death changed a lot of people around her. Like her aunt Ophelia. Ophelia promising to throw off her personal prejudice against blacks. And the really important thing is that Stinkler pledging to free Tom. But the really dramatic thing happened is that Stinkler died. And actually, after his death, his wife reneges on her husband's vow and sells Tom to a vicious plantation owner named Simon Legree. And after a few days, Legree finds that he hates Tom. And the really interesting thing is that just because Tom refuses Legree's order to whip his fellow slaves. And although Legree is really cruel to his slaves, but Tom refuses to stop reading the Bible and comforting the other slaves as best as he can. Also, while at this plantation, Tom meets Cassie, another Greek slave, and he encourages Cassie to escape with her son. Actually, during the same time, congratulations, Eliza and George Harris reached Canada successfully. But the sad thing is that also during the same time, um, Uncle Tom is going to die. When Legree find that Cassie escaped from the plantation, he became really angry, mad, and crazy about this. He asked Tom about this, but Tom refuses to tell Legree where Cassie have gone. Um, so because of this, Legree orders his overseers to kill Tom. As Thomas dying, he forgives the overseers who actually kill him. At the end of the story, very shortly before Tom's death, George Shelby, the little boy now become a man, arrives to buy Tom's freedom, but actually he finds that he is too late. So, after my introduction about the plot, we can easily find that the whole story are focused on a word called freedom. And actually, there are two aspects in the book. First is about the black people, another is about the religion. So, let's just focus on the black people first. Here is a video about black people's situation during that special period. Let's see that how the society treat black people at that time. And all the frames are cut from the 1965 German movie, also called Uncle Tom's Cabin.
As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown? Good Lord, show me the way.
So my niggas are treated just about as well as it's ever wise to treat them.
Let's go down, let's go down. Don't you wanna go down? Oh, sisters, let's go down, down in the river to pray.
Now, why would a trader be interested in your little Harry?
Down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the robe and crown?
Master said I was feeding him at his expense. Table scraps. Ordered me to throw the puppy in the pond.
She likes to play with flowers.
Stop it! I want to hear the story. Don't be decent when white folks come to visit. Down in the river to
That's to find out one day.
So after this video, we can find that actually, during that time, the society do not treat black people as a people. But actually, I have some special opinion, or I have some different Special finds that um actually there are a lot of black people do not treat themselves like a people. So let's focus on the religion. I make a screenshot about the slides of the plot I have just introduced about, and I colored the words of religion to blue. And we can find that the first time Eva and Uncle Tom met and quickly become friends because they have the same Christian faith. And the beautiful dream of Eva before her death is about the heaven. And actually her death, the heaven influenced a lot of people around her. And during the worst period of Uncle Tom, he used Bible to comfort himself and comfort others. And actually, as Tom is dying, he chooses to forgive the killers, but not to hate him. Actually, this gives me a kind of feeling that sometimes religion is really a kind of magic that it will help you to become a stronger person. You know that it will support you, it will accompany you, it will help you to face a lot of difficulties and comfort you. I think this is a really good part of the religion. Here, I collect about 22 kinds of cover of this book, and due to the data on the internet, I find that the book of this cover has the best feedback. In my opinion, I think that the design of the cover might be one of the main reasons. You see that here are some angels on the cover, and actually, angels is a kind of symbol of the religion. And actually, I think that the angels' religions are also a kind of symbols of Uncle Tom's spirit. You know, not everyone can face the problem, face the difficulties by themselves. Some people really need supporters. Uncle Tom used the religions as a supporter and become, more optimistic and live better. So now I would like to introduce something about the early reaction, the positive one and the negative one. First, about the positive one, I find this information on the Wikipedia that Uncle Tom's Cabin was a best-selling novel of the 19th century, just following the Bible. And actually, when Mr. President Abraham Lincoln met Mrs. Stowe, the author, at the start of the Civil War, Lincoln declared that, so this is the little lady who started this great war. Next, I think that the appearance of anti-Tom literature is the main kind of negative reaction of this book. These kind of literature are all focused on the same, like African Americans were childlike people unable to live their lives without being directly overseen by white people. See that? Really unfair and crazy, yeah. So now I would like to talk something about the modern reaction. In recent years, the negative association with Uncle Tom's Cabin have, to an extent, um, overshadowed the historical impact of the book as a vital anti-slavery tool. So about black people's freedom or just freedom, how to get freedom. Actually, the book provide two kinds of ways. First is about Eliza and George. They choose to fight for freedom, and another is like Uncle Tom. They stay and pray. It's obvious that the novel are mainly talked about and mainly support about Uncle Tom's point of view. But actually, most of the modern people prefer Eliza and George way to fight for freedom because they think that you need to do something, not just wait. You need to at least tell other people that you need freedom, not just wait. It's impossible if you just wait to get freedom. Another is about some special words. Actually, the book helped popularize a number of stereotypes about black people. That's not so good, actually. Like the Uncle Tom or dutiful, long suffering servant faithful to his white master or mistress. And the dark-skinned mummy, and Pickaninny actually became a kind of symbol of black children. So now let's just back to the question at the beginning. Why the author chose Uncle Tom's Cabin for the title of this book? I think that after my introduction, you guys will have your own opinion now. But I really want to talk about my own opinion. Actually, the Uncle Tom lived in the little cabin at the beginning of the story, and he died in the little cabin at the end of the story. I think that the cabin just like a kind of carrier of Uncle Tom's spirit. That although sometimes you are really in a bad or hard situation, you also need to try your best to be optimistic. Try your best to keep a kind of peaceful mind to face a lot of things. So at the end, I really want to talk something about my special opinion. Actually, when I first read this book, I was just about 10 years old, and I told myself at that time that I will never read this book again because I think it's boring. And when you really read this book by yourself, you will find that the author sometimes is really subjective. So, but unfortunately, I need to read it again because I need to prepare for this presentation. But actually, I think that thanks to this presentation, I read it again, and I find that I can find something special now. I'm 16 and I can better understand something. I find that there are a bunch of black people that they do not want to change, do not want to fight for anything like the freedom, like the rights. They just want to keep this kind of situation. When I first read this book, I feel shame, but now I'm 16, I feel that I can better understand them. Actually, they are just used to this kind of life. Although the society do not treat them like people, although they always need to face some problems like the starving, like the illness, but at least they can have something to eat. They can have some place to live. They just afraid of the future, afraid of changing because they're not so sure about what will happen in the future, what will happen after the changing. If they still have things to eat, if they still have place to live. So actually, I think that different people have different kinds of definition for the freedom. Some people will think that, hey, freedom is to follow myself, right? But actually, for some people, freedom is just to follow others. It's more safety, actually. So, you cannot determine that which one is absolutely right and which one is absolutely wrong. So, that's it. Thank you for watching this video, and I'm Dora Liu from Shenhou Experimental High School. See you next time, and peace to the world. Bye!